KKHT wants you to meet three of the classiest guys in real estate.
I am Chris Kelso, the maestro of mortgage.
I am Rob Cook, the godfather of real estate.
And I'm Joe Orsack, the king of credit swing. And together, we're
the Real Estate Rat Pack.
Much like us, real estate right now is smoking hot. So whether it's buying, selling, or owning, you need to check out the Real Estate Rat Pack.
They're here to take your calls and answer your questions live. Call now 1-800-808-5548. And now, the Real Estate Rat Pack.
There it is.
Need to come up with something different. Golly.
Hi, it's fun.
we got
Hey, it's signature.
we got a packed house.
We do. We have a very packed house. We have, 12 people in the studio?
It's not
3 for all those
not
who
our
are
top
listening.
number of people, but it's darn close. It's darn close.
DJ is spinning some good tracks.
That is correct.
The dance floor is packed.
You know, I got some good shout-outs to do very, very beginning right here. Number one, I want to congratulate Capital Title on their new grand
Absolutely.
opening they did.
They rocked it.
They rocked it this
They
past
rocked it.
week. That is correct. We have Capital Title in the house here, actually, with Dave Dickinson. But we have we did a really nice grand opening over at the Capital Title in Cyprus. It would rock the house. Let me tell you, it was really good.
About 200 people showed up.
Absolutely, I think probably more.
Yeah, I lost count.
It was absolutely incredible. I also want to give a big shout out to an individual over at Legacy Ford, Patrick Sexton. He hooked me up this past week.
I think we can invoice him.
That is correct. That is correct on a new vehicle, on a new Ford. And so big shout out to him. I'll tell you, if you want to go and buy a new car, especially a Ford, and get in and get
I'm
out,
definitely
one of the
gonna
best
invoice him
deals.
now.
That's where you need to call. You need to go to Legacy Ford out there in the Richmond-Rosenberg area.
Well, you know, thanks to our good sponsor, Tim O'Neill of State Farm, we have our 5-minute etiquette. And, you know, there's something that the
Yes.
realtor community needs more of is etiquette. So
That is correct.
our
For
own
some reason,
Christy
Christy's been assigned to our show.
Yeah, I think
Permanent assignment.
Monthly basis
we're
to
our
check in
charity,
with you
we're
all.
charity case.
Yes. Pro
So,
bono.
anyway, well, we're
over
proud to
here.
have it because, you know, Christy travels all over the state and teaching business etiquette, and she always has some great tips for us. So we're going to talk today, which is ironic because
he said tips, by the way.
Tips.
Just want to let you guys know. Yes.
Which is ironic because I showed up about 10 minutes before the show today, which is very unusual for me, about time management. So what are our tips today?
So interesting about time management.
I did that on
Funny you
purpose.
mentioned 10 minutes.
I know, you gave us quite a bit of things to talk about here. You know what? I have to say, I was a little bit late, too.
Oh, wow.
We were all at that same warehouse fire saving those small puppies.
But you know what? I share that because, hey, have all you guys always been on time?
Well, anything I'd
right?
say would belie that
Not me.
claim.
So things happen,
Crickets.
right? And business, we hear business etiquette and we think, oh my gosh, I got to be perfect. And I've said that before. And sometimes we're not on time, but we can put a plan in place that can help us. And so one of the biggest tips that I can get, yes, tips.
You like saying the word tips.
Also,
We didn't even need to go there.
I know, you know, but you guys are so fun. Is you start out with a goal for the day, and that's one of the best things that we can offer up as far as kind of get your mind around what you need to do. Now we oftentimes
sorry,
We lost,
no,
we
it's
lost
just-
Joe in the corner there. The other thing about business etiquette is to be polite to our guests.
yes, and
It's all Kelso's fault.
quit laughing over there. You know, when we have our mindset and our focus, we tend to accomplish more. And so, but here's what happens. We try to go set a goal for the day, but we don't know what the goal for the week, the month, the year is. So we get up and we go do emails, or we run around like a chicken with our head cut off. And then we start doing, I call it dilly-dallying, and go do another thing and do another thing, and then we're always late. So, and that really can kind of deplete your professionalism. So how do you?
It's that ADD in us.
Well,
Like
come on.
We search, go look for our keys, and while we're out there and go, oh gosh, the garbage needs emptying. No, you know what? By the way, I need to rearrange this. And so you kind of
Yes,
start off with
when
one
I'm already
mission.
15 minutes late, I need to rearrange my furniture.
I've
Is
heard
that what
that-
you were doing, Rob?
I've heard that highly optimistic people are often more late because they think that they can get more done in a short amount of time.
Well,
That is an optimistic point of view.
yeah, only
I'm
realtors.
supporting and spreading this,
Yeah. Only
opinion.
realtors think they can go from Katy to Kingwood. They'll get a client on the phone. Oh, yeah, I'll be there in 15 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem.
So
Now,
big
Rob,
tip there
I
is
usually
be
say
realistic.
10, not 15.
Well, it's 15 minutes from where was the place the random people show up?
That's right.
Random people show
That
up
was- yeah.
everywhere. So
That was Pearland.
Pearland, yeah, it's 15 minutes from Pearland to downtown.
you have to figure out your goal for the day, and how do you do that? You look at where you are in your life, you look at where you want to go, and then that kind of speaks to what the activities are. That's the bigger picture, but there's something that I do want to talk about. It's called time mapping. And oftentimes I will hear realtors, and time management is not for just realtors, it's for every professional, and we can all do a little bit better at it. Time mapping, and I'll hear a ton of realtors say, that's not for us. We don't know, we don't do time mapping. But if you don't map your time, which is basically looking at the overall 24/7 of your day and putting balanced time in there, family, friends, radio rat pack, real estate rat pack, you're going to be living in a chaotic world, which then exacerbates the tardiness.
Well, yeah, I always would tell people.
This show is brought to you by the word exacerbate.
Yes, we rented that for the day, but we do have to have it back tomorrow.
Okay, we'll give it back.
2-day rental.
Yeah, my theory's always been if I'm 5 minutes early, I'm on time, and if I'm on time, I'm late. Except for today, of course.
Well, we just blew that theory out of the water, didn't we, today?
Appointment, I would have been here on time, but that seems to be chronic with realtors. We also have issues with drive times and things like that, and it seems to be getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, you need an hour at least to get 15 minutes in Houston.
Exactly. And I was going from like the Galleria. No, actually was probably more like where HAR is located on 59, trying to get over to the Heights. At 3:30, you think that would be an easy time to go, and it was bumper to bumper. It was about an hour to do it. It should have been a half hour.
Well, let's talk about. We got to think about. I mean, our city is growing like leaps and bounds, and you've got to think about all the road closures. This morning, that's a little bit why I was a couple minutes tardy. Is because I was maneuvering around street closures that I wasn't aware of. And how can you always be aware of?
Well, there's an app called Waze.
That's true. I didn't turn on. I was hurrying too much.
There's an app for that.
Turn on the
There's
app.
an app for that. But they will actually give you some things that, and it might be part of your mapping. It's like, I have to go here. I've not been there before. Look at Waze or other programs like that.
15-minute buffer is always a good thing. Yeah.
Well, typically I do a 15-minute buffer. That's
all right. We're not here to pick on you today.
Yeah, it's
Rob.
okay. These guys usually do. So I'm picking on myself. So I can. It's a preemptive.
It's part of my union contract.
Yes, exactly.
So you got to look at your life. You got to look at what you want. That speaks to your activities. Then you got to map it out. And how you do that is time mapping. Obviously, I can't really show you that here on the radio. I could, diagram it in air, but you certainly can come into one of our classes. We teach them all around the state of Texas, and happy to go through that. It's about an hour and a half segment that we go through, kind of looking at your life, mapping it out, seeing how you can get down to those extra 15 minutes and hey, having some balance in it and some fun.
Now, your classes aren't just for realtors. They're
No,
for anyone who is
everyone.
in business.
Absolutely.
Right? So how if someone wants to sign up, how would they go about doing that?
Well, thank you for asking, Rob. They would call
Almost
an
like it's
800.
This shameless plug brought to you by the word exacerbate.
We appreciate it at Champion School of Business Etiquette. They would call 800-888-335-6767. Or anyone, in the industry can just give me a call, 281-658-2335. One thing I do want to share is we have a blog, and I just recently wrote a blog on this subject. It's blog.championsetiquette, championsbusinessetiquette.com, blog.championsbusinessetiquette.com.
I hope you teach a class on how realtors to be nice to each other when they're on the phone trying to negotiate something. They seem to get really electric.
Yes. We talk about communications, and we really talk about respect, because etiquette, really the basis of respect. Etiquette is respect. Respect for yourself and respect for others.
We could spread a little bit around.
We
the whole world.
Realtors or otherwise.
Realtors or otherwise. But I see it a lot in realtors, and again, the people get so emotionally involved, and of course, people hire us for two things: to be objective and to be a great negotiator. And as a whole, we haven't done really that great a job.
Well,
so
send them on over. I'm happy to help.
That is the Business Etiquette Minute, brought to you by the great Tim O'Neill with State Farm.
That's right.
Thank you, Tim.
And so we've got, like I said, a cast of thousands, like a Cecil B. DeMille production here.
Yes, I would absolutely agree.
And so first up, so we can make sure I get this name right, It's Robin Kitzmiller-Wyndham with RE/MAX, the Woodlands and Spring. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And I understand that's a guest of Dave Dickinson. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Well, thank you, Dave. You always bring great guests on. We really appreciate that. So talk a little bit. I'm always curious how people get into real estate, because usually people started their life somewhere else.
Yes. I actually started as a loan officer in the mortgage industry, and I was a loan officer for about 20 years. And got my real estate license about 16 years ago, and it flip-flopped. And now I am a complete realtor, and I don't do any loans anymore, just real estate.
With a smart one right here, huh?
Exactly. I'm going to switch microphones so you don't have to do that, Chris.
I don't have to do that anymore, right?
Meanwhile, the poor sound guy is going, what is going on?
Yeah, well,
We're playing musical microphones over here on
well,
me.
We have to sometimes when you have this many people in the studio. So anyway, Chris, you're about to say something. I can see
No,
yours
I
over
said,
there.
yeah, it's interesting because I think it's very neat because you get to understand, you understand very well both sides of the transaction.
Yes.
That's one of the things I think is extremely important, and I tell a lot of agents I work with all the time is come in, get to know that side of the transaction because it's not all as bad as what people make it out to be, but it's also not all as easy as people make it out to be either.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. Yes. And I think being a realtor and having that background has really helped me because I put my clients at ease when they start talking to a loan officer.
Right.
So.
And how are you seeing the market right now? What's been going on in regards to the real estate market up in the Woodlands?
Crazy. That's a
Crazy.
good word. Crazy. Yes. It has been so busy. We have houses that go on the market and are on the market for a couple of hours and they're sold, multiple offers. So it's been very, very good. And it's been like that since about January.
And the transition, go back to your transition a little bit. Mm-hmm. What do you see the big difference nowadays, and how do you think that the new change in regards to the mortgage regulations are going to impact real estate from a realtor side?
I think it's going to make us a little bit more organized. We're going to have to be more organized or we're going to delay closings.
Right.
So we're going to have to get our act together very quickly and get all of the documents out very quickly rather than waiting until the last minute.
Right.
Well, the target's really on mortgage people. You know, the CFPB that's who has the big target on their back is you guys.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But it's as Robin was saying though, it's a collective effort to make sure it's a collective effort now. So let's not put the onus on one side or the other. It takes what did I say? It takes something to create a village or et cetera, et cetera. I don't know how
Take
that
the
works.
village to raise a child.
It takes a village to raise a child, whatever it
Thank you, Hillary
is. But yeah, or to build a house or whatever. But you're absolutely right. I mean, one of the things it does take, though, is it takes working in conjunction to be able to get that ultimate result, which is to get a happy family into a beautiful home, into their dream that they're looking at doing to raise that. And so I would absolutely agree. I think that, what we do right now is still there, but obviously going forward, I think there's going to be more important for us to be even more in tune with each other to make sure those time
I
frames
think our
make
value
sense.
proposition just went up tenfold because
Right.
Now the realtor is going to get very involved to make sure things are moving along, or mortgage companies have to be more mindful of what's going on, and title companies the same. So it's going to be in concert that we're all going to have to work very closely together, more so than we used to do it.
Well, and I think it's going to take away that last minute issues. It always seems like at the last minute, right before closing, it gets crazy and the buyers and sellers are all stressed out, and this is going to take that away. We're not going to be doing everything at the last minute.
Right. I
That's
mean, you have a lot of
one thing
last
came out
minute
of it.
things that go on. I can't believe that. I have not heard that yet.
Crazy, yes.
I would never believed it.
Yeah, well, I've gone to about 3 or 4 CFPB things, and that's going to be different. So I think basically what we're telling people is don't try to do a 30-day closing when we first started. Do a 45 or 60-day close.
Right.
So until we see how this is all going to work together. And then there's some people out there who aren't getting educated at all. Those are the ones that are frightening.
That's scary, yes.
Yeah, because I still see that deer in the headlight look. Who's heard of the CFPB? And I get that look like, what?
What'd you say just now?
Yeah, no kidding. And we've only been talking about it since 2010, right?
That is true. But, I think, and I will say this, is the professionals out there in the industry are continuing to do well. We're not going to see any major changes to those who are doing very well in what they do. That goes for both the loan officers and their companies and the real estate professionals and their companies and all the auxiliary services around that. So, I think that's still pretty strong. They're giving me the notation that we are coming up against a break, but I
Already?
have more things I still want to ask
well,
Robin.
Robin's
So
not
we're gonna,
leaving.
she's
She's
not
staying with
leaving
us.
us anywhere. She's going to stay right here. We're going to ask her some more questions when we get back. Again, you're tuned in to the Real Estate Rat Pack radio show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Robin was talking about real estate. We're going a little bit into the real estate transaction and what's happening in regard to TRID, but let's also find out what's going on in regards to the market itself. You know, one of the things we're talking about during the break right now is the market is still a very strong market. Values are up about 6 to 7%, even though home sales are down a little bit, year to date right now. What are you seeing in regards to home sales? What do you see? Obviously, the Woodlands is one of those pockets in which sort of insulated right there, and a lot of activities going on that might not reflect what's going on in the rest of the market.
Right. We have so many businesses moving into the area. I mean, obviously, number one, ExxonMobil.
That small oil and gas
Yeah,
company,
that
right?
little one. Yeah, that built
Exxon
that
who?
small little company.
Okay.
Yeah. But we've got so many other companies that are moving in because of ExxonMobil, and so we have just such an influx of people being relocated to the Woodlands area. Not just the Woodlands proper.
And the Woodlands area, that's Spring, that's
Yes.
Conroe. Talk a little bit about that surrounding area, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, it really, the Woodlands area would encompass a large area. Spring, Conroe, Magnolia, Montgomery, parts of Tomball. So it's a huge area, and it's because of all these companies moving in.
Well, with that many large companies moving in, that really must be exacerbating the supply of houses.
Well,
See what I did there? See that?
4.3 month supply of homes because it's gone up. And it was hovering around 2.6. So
That
it's
is
gone
correct.
up. But Woodlands and Katy still
Below the 3 point, yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, it really kind of shows what's going on there. And of course, you've got the Hughes Corp and I think Johnson Corporation are all going to be doing some huge projects up and around that area.
Yes, huge projects that they've already broken ground, and that's going to be amazing and very exciting.
Do you remember the name of the development? It escapes me at the moment. You either, okay. But they've been buzzing about it because someone was saying how they were buying lots over there. They're having builders coming in bidding for lots. That it's so much demand. So I think that's going to be real indicative of what is going to be going on up in the Woodlands for some time.
Yes.
So now you also do training.
I do. I teach at Champion School of Real Estate. I've been teaching there for about 5 years, and I teach all the core classes. If you want to get your real estate license, you would come there and take the classes. And then I also teach some MCE. So it's fantastic. I think it makes me a better realtor by teaching.
Well, I teach a lot of MCE. I probably do 50 classes this year, and I do it remotely. So yes, I agree with you
Yes.
because I get to hear all about the war stories of things that are happening on the streets.
Right.
And you only get to hear that. That's why I don't like online classes. No offense against online classes.
Right.
But I've learned a whole lot more when I'm in a classroom setting.
Well, I think there's something personal about it. I mean, I give a lot of classes. I used to give MCE. Now I just do the lunch and learns. But I also like the ability to go out there and share. I think sharing information is extremely important. That's how you become a better person.
And just because, acronyms and the public don't always mix, MCE is mandatory continuing education.
Correct.
So people understand that. Because we always use all these terms, and we always assume people know, but you know what?
They don't.
They don't. How do we get a hold of you?
You will call me on my cell phone at 713-248-7403.
How you say that one more time?
713-248-7403.
And that is Robin Kitzmiller Wyndham. I had to practice that for a while. Plus I have her card right in
He's
front
been
of me.
out front all morning. Okay, I've got to pronounce this correctly. I've got to pronounce it. Well, she's still not going anywhere. We still have our open segment right here, but we're going to segment over right now to another great guest right next to you, aren't we?
The great Cindy Scott with RE/MAX. Welcome, Cindy. I think she looks a little nervous. What do you think?
Good
Oh,
morning.
gosh, yes.
Thank you for having
Give her another mimosa.
Yeah, I need to take her public speaking class. That's what I'm going to do. Sure, she's got one.
Well, I've known you for a while, but you had another career before you started real estate. How did you start out?
I've been a realtor for 30 years.
For 30 years.
That's all I've ever done.
So
It was called high school,
high
Rob.
school. Wow.
It's called growing up.
So that's that false memory thing, because I can always fall back on that I'm old. So
Seasoned.
seasoned, something like that.
Maybe
So
I forgot. Maybe that's it.
anyway, well, talk to me about where you work and what type of work that you do. You're working primarily residential.
Thought she said she was a realtor, Rob, but didn't we cover
Well,
this?
do you not understand that there's other facets of real estate?
I'm with RE/MAX Compass, Cypress area. 99% of my business is out in that area, but I do work all over Houston. And I've been doing it almost 30 years.
What in the world got you into real estate? What lapse of better judgment?
I didn't want to work in an office, and I like to change every day and working with different people all the time.
All right.
It's a very exciting business, and there are some challenges. that
And,
go
and
along
you
with
work
it.
the Spring area, Spring and Cypress area quite a bit. So, what kind of trends are you seeing out there when people are out there buying? What are they looking to find?
A lot of people in that area want to be in planned communities where they have all the amenities for kids, parks, fishing ponds, trails, fitness centers, things that are conducive to raising a family, good schools.
Yeah, we've long maintained that people don't buy houses anymore; they buy lifestyles.
But you know, the interesting thing about Cypress, though, and this is the thing I really like about it, and you can probably talk a little bit, Cindy, is you also have the variety. If you're out there looking for a planned unit development, or you're out there looking to buy acreage or have a little bit more space, you have a lot of different options in the Cypress area to go to.
You do, but the inventory is a little low, and especially if you want acreage, you're going to be paying a premium for that.
Well, aren't you paying premiums for everywhere nowadays?
Everywhere,
It seems like?
yeah, everything is, yeah.
And talk a little bit about the schools. Cy-Fair Independent School District, very good school district out there.
It's a great school district, very highly rated, and a lot of people move out there specifically for that. In fact, that's why I moved out there.
Right. And activity-wise, one of the things we hear sometimes is 290. We hear about the traffic on 290, right?
It's
But
horrible.
It's horrible, right? But there's a lot of other stuff. There's a
freeway
lot of
that is a
other
parking
ways
lot.
to go. They're building, obviously, 99, which now can take you over to different corridors, which will eventually do some other things right there.
Yeah, 99 is amazing. You can get from Cypress to Katy in 15 to 20 minutes, or maybe I should
15
say longer.
minutes.
I'm not. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, now I will
Random
tell you,
people can
she
make
is
it in
right.
15 minutes.
You can get to Katy, to like say Cinco Ranch Boulevard, all the way over to the Outlet Mall right there on 290 in 15 minutes door to door.
Drive fast.
Pretty impressive. Yeah, well, no, I mean, it's
Yes.
95, 100.
I get anywhere in 15 minutes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
didn't
that's,
say it was legal.
I've only floored it 3 times
To drive fast while
for,
I love.
10 miles
Yes.
a piece.
well, yeah, I don't think they've discovered 99 yet.
Oh,
it's not as
gotcha.
highly used as a lot of the other roads, but it will be. I can see there.
Oh, it's
gonna,
great.
It's awesome because I was with you that one night. We made it out there in about 15 minutes.
About 15 minutes, yeah.
And
Yeah.
he did follow the speed limit, believe it or not.
Believe it or not, I did. I use it all the time. To me, it's that one opening that we've got now. It allows us to get right over. If they just put all the cell phone towers correctly over there, it'd be the perfect little venue.
And all the sheriffs know what kind of car you just bought, so they'll be.
And it's red.
Yes,
So-
and
so
his
look
name
for
is
it.
Rob Cook, by
That's
the way.
right,
That's who
right.
the ticket goes to. So, no, but and then Cypress in general. What else is going on? What is there to do out in Cypress?
There's a lot to do. There's all kinds of. There's shopping. There's it's changed over the years. I moved out there in '98, and we went from just farmland to everything's available now, very close. You get the theaters, grocery stores, shopping, everything.
And you do have one of the best shopping. If you haven't been out to the premium outlet malls right there on 290 and 99, I'm not lying. It is absolutely one of the best places to go shopping in Houston.
It's a great area. You can get a lot out there.
So-
Big bang for the buck.
Yeah, well, tell me, how do you distinguish yourself? There's about 30,000 realtors out there, and they're going to call Cindy Scott because
Because I'm one of the nice agents.
you're not one of those mean ones, huh?
That's right. They're out there for sure. But I have experience. I've worked with people. I've done relocation and listings and worked with buyers. So
Yeah, but that relocation, of
experience.
course, out in that area is with the Exxon and Darco and all the other companies out there is pretty prominent. And so, and those are challenging deals sometimes when you're working with relo.
Oh yeah, and with all the changes that are coming up,
Yeah.
what's going
What
on
could go
behind
wrong,
you?
right?
The changes behind you. Taking pictures back there.
But yeah, well, we have
gotta have fun in
a
the studio.
three-ring circus here on occasion.
They're taking ussies, by the way.
Yes,
I'm just. That's
The
the
group-
proper
the group.
terminology.
Group shot.
I remember we had somebody who held up a 2-minute signal and she froze.
Yes. We had one time they helped, and she said, chickens.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So,
Meanwhile, the listeners to the show are trailing off.
Come back, please.
Well, if you're someone out there, so let's talk about, we talk about trends right now. What do you see trending-wise in regards to listing homes? So let's talk about individuals looking out there at putting their home on the market. Is now a good time? Is now not a good time?
Well, now's a great time. I mean, you're going to sell it for higher than you would have
During
a
like
couple
the
years
slow time.
ago. Yeah, the prices have gone up. The inventory's low, but you're definitely competing with a lot of new construction in the area. So you want to make sure your house is pristine. It's got to be clean and ready because people don't want to come in and they're not looking for a fixer-upper. They
Right.
want it ready to move in.
That's always brings up mind when you talk about prices being higher. Is that I'm seeing appraisal issues pop up again. Have you experienced appraisal issues recently?
I have not yet. Thank you,
Oh,
and I
gosh.
hope I don't.
Well, I've been hearing all
All
of
of a sudden next week she's
Wait.
like, "Dang, Rob just jinxed me on appraisals."
No, it's not a problem.
Knock
if
on
you
granite
price it right.
countertops.
Well, that's a great point right there because a lot of people want to price it higher than the market is, and
Yes,
no
because-
matter what the market is, if you price it too high, people are going to pass by.
Well, even if they stop by, they're still going to have to sell it for what the real market value is.
Are you getting offers over list when you list a house?
Yes. Actually, I mean, the lower price homes are selling faster still than the higher price homes right now. Because I think people are trying to downsize with the economy change.
Well, but the statistics would show that really the high end that's moving the market because our numbers are down overall for HAR, but the dollar volume's up. So it's just I think there's probably a lot of, especially in the Woodlands areas, Katy areas, a lot of the high end homes are moving well. So they can't see you shake your head.
Yes. Sorry. I agree.
So anyway, talk about your marketing style and how you market things like that. How do you get your business?
Really?
Is that a hard question?
Yes.
She goes.
Well, a lot of people just say
I
They
get my
meet me.
business.
They like me.
They like me. I'm a nice person, you know.
I have a lot of contacts, and I've been in Coles Crossing for 18 years, so I know a lot of the people, and most of my business is based on referrals.
Referral business. That's what I hear predominantly from people who've been in the business a while and are seasoned, as you are, that they get most of their business from that. So, and then Coles Crossing, that was built, in the 90s?
98.
98. So how many homes in that subdivision do you think?
About 2,500.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that large. I actually sold a little bit out in there. It's a nice,
And there's-
very nice community.
Yeah, and there's a wide range of homes.
In fact, I had a listing right next door to you. I sold that you had the house listed next door.
Oh,
I didn't sell it. Sorry.
Did you
Cindy,
sell
how
yours?
can
You
we-
didn't sell
No,
yours? Sorry.
no, I did sell it. No,
We're coming up on a break.
Yeah, Cindy, how can we reach you if you don't mind?
My cell is 713-725-7139.
That is Cindy Scott. We are coming up against a break right now, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
And we're back. There we go.
Yeah, that's actually a coordinated unit there.
You got
You know what we forgot to do?
What?
You know that Cindy and Amy are here because of one person that invited them. Which
That is
Kobe
true.
Reynolds with One Guard. And
Kobe
she is-
Reynolds with One Guard
she is
home warranty.
in the house.
In the house. Come on. And Kobe said back, she's like, "You're not putting me on air right now." Yeah. Yeah, she says she's hoarse. Yes. So, and for those who don't know Kobe Reynolds, she's been one of our longtime sponsors. She's with One Guard Home Warranty. Let me tell you, One Guard Home Warranty is a great company, great product. They have a lot of convenience features they also put in regards to their home warranty. And if you're also looking at putting your home with one of these beautiful ladies we have on the market, she has a really good program in which when you list your home on the market, you can also engage with the home warranty during that process, which is pretty cool. So a lot of good stuff. She is hoarse today, though, so she doesn't really want to speak on air, but she is taking a lot of selfies. So go out and check us out on Facebook and see all the selfies I'm taking with her.
So anyway, well, thank you for inviting these wonderful guests on the show. And of course, we have up next, a little nervous, Amy Patton. Welcome
Just
to the
a little.
show.
Miss Nervous, nice to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Can I call you a little?
So talk a little bit about, you're out there, I think also with Cindy out there in the Cypress area and selling out there. So talk a little bit about your businesses, what you do, how you do it.
I've been, in real estate for about 13 years with Remax Compass, and I'm in the Cypress area. I deal mostly with a lot of relocation buyers, sellers, and most of my business is referral based.
So on the relocation side, I was asked this question. I think there's a misnomer out there. Obviously, oil and gas has definitely changed a little bit, but there's still quite a few coming in. I mean, relocation has not slowed down to the point in which oil has gone down to that level, correct?
I agree. And what I've noticed is that you have a lot of the younger generation moving here, relocating for oil and gas. So a lot of people in their young 30s that are moving here. Yeah. So it's the relocation as far as oil and gas, it's still happening.
Still happening. It's still strong, and and that's a very good point, because we read in the paper a lot of times is one of the things that's happening in the oil and gas industry and industries in general is there is that gap that's starting to take place in regards to the experienced individuals out there and the new generation that are coming in. And one of the things that we're struggling to find is that workforce, that younger, educated workforce that can come in, fill those gaps. And so you're confirming that what is happening is true. They are bringing individuals that they're trying to fill those.
Young 30s, yes.
Young 30s.
Yes.
And on the relocation side, what are you seeing a lot of relocation clients look for? What is, in that 30 range? Obviously, it's probably different than an individual who's 60 and moving out of their home. What are some of the standard features or amenities that they're seeking right now?
Family-based. It's a lot of young families with young children, so they're looking for amenities, walking trails, splash parks, water parks, just a community that has all the amenities, hiking trails, just what Cindy covered earlier.
Right. That is very interesting.
Now, these typical double wage earners that are buying out there, or they're
No,
not really.
Not really, no.
Wow. Okay.
And you'd be surprised. I just had a closing in Village Builders and Wildwood.
Can we send an invoice to Village?
We will.
Okay.
Sorry.
No. It's absolutely fine.
$470,000 house. It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
It's wonderfully crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, we've talked on the show in the past a lot about international buyers, and of course we have a lot of people who are coming. They're foreign nationals moving into the Woodlands area. Have you experienced that yourself, or?
I have a little bit, but nothing recently. Yeah.
There's a lot of money going in from South America, Mexico. Of course, in China's doing a lot of purchasing up there, and we have commercial business.
Well, within your Latin American market, I mean, you've got, obviously, Venezuela is still very strong, bringing a lot of individuals. You got Brazil, and throughout Latin America, Mexico has just got through changing all their rules in regards to investment property, both onshore and offshore. So we're seeing a lot of different changes also, and so that's going to bring a whole new wave of individuals going both sides, individuals seeking to come to the United States, and also U.S. citizens seeking to go over there to do some of those projects.
Well,
I've seen in the last, in the last year for sure, a ton of different articles by, major name places rating Texas and rating Houston as the go-to destination place for moving, which, I take it for granted how, I'm a native Texan, and Texas is the greatest state in the world.
There's Texas, and then there's not Texas, right?
Yes, everything other than Texas. But do you see? Have you heard or hear any of that kind of talk, or do you think that has an impact on the millennials that you're talking about are moving in, the younger folks that are actually having that impact of saying, "Hey, Texas is a go-to place"?
People love Texas. I was with a client yesterday. They relocated from California, and she loves Texas. I mean, it's just so much more affordable here, everything, and she's looking to move her whole family here.
Yeah, they're pretty amazed when they come from California. They're pretty amazed what they can get, especially if you're out in like Katy, where you might be able to get a 5,000 square foot house for $450,000 or $500,000, and that's a starter home in California. It's a 2-1 shack.
Yeah,
so it's a whole different market, and so they really do like. And some of them come with cash. Are you seeing a lot of cash buyers, or
ton of cash buyers? Yes.
We like cash.
Speak for yourself there.
Yeah. Kelso's
cash is king.
Speak for yourself there as far as cash buyers.
Those people are terrible.
It's not good for the economy.
Gosh, save your money. Keep it in the bank. Come on, get a deal.
I mean, with
cash always wins, though.
They're like giving away loans is pretty much how the interest rate is now. It is kind of like almost silly to pay cash.
If you can make an 8% return on your cash, and you get a mortgage for 3.75, 4.25, that would be silly to put it into a house, because you're going to get a lot better return somewhere else. So
And you're really not. It's not a
Did I recover
huge
that pretty
struggle
well?
to hit.
Keep going.
Get 3.7% return on an investment somewhere right now.
Right.
So anyway,
Unless you're in Greece, I mean, so
Yes.
that's the only thing that I
Well,
would venture to say
you might be able to
careful
buy
with.
the country and.
Save your euros. Anyway, but I think that's really fascinating that the young people coming in and buying those expensive. Because I remember the first place I bought was like a little 1-bedroom condo.
Yeah.
And I was like 28, 29 years old, and I was like, and now you see these young millennials come in, and they've got these great jobs with oil companies. They can't see you shake your head, Amy.
It's crazy.
Yes,
Yes, I agree.
And that is the sound of a nod.
But no, amenities in the house and things like what do they look for specifically in the home? I've seen a lot of people are doing outdoor kitchens, and they're looking for certain upgrades. So what are you seeing out there?
Open floor plans, outdoor kitchen, pools, a lot of the walk-in showers. You see a lot of the new constructions that they're doing away with dining rooms or breakfast rooms, just having one big dining room. Just real open floor plans and media rooms, game rooms, playrooms, wine bar or wine cellars. I mean, you name it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot.
You know
of
what I walked into the
Yeah.
other day? I walked into a home that actually had an outdoor shower, by the way, which I thought
if you have
was
a pool. That's a great idea.
which I thought was the neatest. It wasn't anywhere near the pool, by the way.
Oh, really?
Just FYI. But it had an outdoor shower.
Shower.
It basically you had your shower. It's from Foundation Homes, and I did a tour of it, and it's out there right there in Cypress, by the way. I don't know if you know, right off of Kluge Road.
Yes.
Yeah, really nice property. But when you walk into the master bedroom, you walk where the shower is, your normal shower, beautiful shower, and there's this. All of a sudden, there's this glass window that you can push open, and it extends the normal shower to the outdoor, and it's all enclosed, but it's open on the very top, and it's an outdoor shower. It was the neatest thing. Go out and look at it. It's on Facebook. I posted it out there. It was pretty cool. Yes.
2 invoices, right?
Yeah, really. I can see people flying drones over those houses. Going, what could go wrong?
I had never seen that before, and then my buddy, who's Clayton Richter, who's the owner of Foundation Homes, he's like, "Yeah,
3
because
invoices.
it's the new thing that's happening right there." I was
have
like, "That
never
is the
seen
neatest
that.
thing."
Well, you have to go. Is that out in Cypress?
It's
area?
right there in their area. That is correct.
Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it, but I know where you're talking
You
about.
got to go tour the home, and you got to see it. You will be absolutely impressed with it.
What subdivision is that?
Something Oaks. I would have to.
White Oak Landing, or Kluge.
It's right there,
Lakes.
yeah. Kluge. So if you take Huffmeister and you take right on Kluge and you go down, you got a couple of oaks, and it's
Yes.
like right next to one of the oaks.
Yes.
It's right there on
I
the
know.
corner, by the way. Beautiful, beautiful home. But those are some of the new styles that are coming out, though. In other words, one of the things I was speaking to the builder about is they're trying to bring a lot of outdoor lifestyle into your everyday. So the thing was, a lot of people like to go out there and, it's a privacy area, but you still get to go out there and you can take a shower, all natural in the open, which is pretty interesting. Yeah. Or do whatever else you do
I
in the
never
shower.
thought there would be a demand
Yes.
for that, but
Lifestyle, not lifestyle.
That is. Well, I think that people do look for unique things. 'Cause I've always said you never buy a whole house. You always buy a part of a house, something that just grabs you when you walk in the door. You know immediately that's the house for me, and it's usually something like that. So
Well, that's the
and
case.
how
I could be saving a lot of money. Walk up to somebody and say, I want that corner right there.
Well, the whole house goes with it, but there's usually one
Gotcha.
specific item that people do gravitate to,
Yes.
and they'll remember that house because it'll be that house with the outdoor shower.
Yes.
But
Public restroom.
what could go wrong?
But let me tell you, there is some really neat stuff, and that's one of the things we were talking about a bit earlier. Is Cypress offers a lot of that variety still, even though it's hard to find some places. It was interesting. It's on a 1.2 acre lot. You don't see it. You can be right next to a master plan community, and then go into another community which are acre lots,
Right.
which I think is pretty interesting.
Nice.
Cypress is another one of those areas where, in years past, it seemed like you were on an adventure to get there, and now it's. When did I leave Houston?
You didn't leave Houston. It's
Yeah,
just one continuous megalopolis now.
Yeah. So it's part of the city.
You get a great view of it when you're sitting there parked on 290. You can really get a good view of all of Cypress.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's
I
had time to.
I have the producer telling me I'm number one, by the way.
Yes.
I just want to let you. No, we had less than 1 minute. So, okay, I still am number one. But with that being said, Amy, how can we reach you if you don't mind?
281-380-2622.
And that is Amy Patton with Remax.
Remax Compass.
Compass.
Yes,
Remax
I'm
Compass.
sorry, I can't just say Remax, can I?
Yeah. Yeah, you have to identify Remax Compass, by the way.
Yes.
Amy, thanks a lot. We
Thank
still have
you.
one more segment to go in the studio.
We're not
Open
letting
mic
them-
time.
we're not letting them out.
We're not letting anybody out. We're taking a lot more photos. Some
Doors
we can
locked.
show, some we can't. The ones that we can show, you can see on Facebook. The ones we can't, well, too bad. We're just going to let you listen to them. Anyways, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Pearly white, just a jackknife has old Maggie Heath, babe.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
And
We're back.
Look at that. We have started a trend. You heard it right here on the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show.
Well, I'm still not going to do the scream at the beginning of the show. I'm sorry.
We'll get you eventually, Rob.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, well, you know, this is the open mic segment. This is where we sort of talk about anything or anything, everything that's going on out there. I just got through showing, by the way, Robin, the video of the outdoor shower. That is correct. And so she's looking at me sort of funny, wanting to know where the next question is going. But it was pretty neat, wasn't it?
It was. It was very interesting. Very interesting.
Her main thing was like, so who's using that outside there?
You want to go by? Is that in a model home, or is that a house that they have a spec home that they're selling?
That's a spec home that was built. That is correct. Spec home that was built right there. It's still active on the market, but it was just really neat. And it goes to some of those amenities and features. You know, that's one of the things that I still think. I'm always interested in architecture, on what's going on how individuals are changing. We're seeing, you mentioned the open floor, Amy, the open floor concept that they've got, but it's really neat nowadays to see the way they're putting in courtyards again. There's some things that are really coming back, outdoor coming into the indoor. You know, pools that I'm starting to see now that are half in, half out to be able to manage more during, you know, the off season. Pretty neat stuff.
Well, there's been a big trend about outdoor living, even though, you know, we kind of have a hostile summer, but that's how we keep the weak ones out of Houston.
That is true.
And so, but it also allows them to downsize the house a little bit.
Right.
That you can actually do with a smaller house because you're doing a lot of your living outdoors. And like I said, we talked about the trends of outdoor kitchens and in you know, area pavilions and those types of things where people can hang out.
Right.
And you can make it tolerable, you know, with fans and they're Misters, thank you.
Right.
Or Mrs.
Yeah. And we have plenty of fans.
Yeah.
So, you know, we can bring them over to the house, hang out with us. It's no problem. Yeah.
Wow.
But you know, one of the things, as you mentioned, is I've seen this in Houston going on for a long time. We are, as we continue to bring in a lot of international community, we are seeing that the family-oriented, the extended family, the friends, all that, we're seeing that the homes are the center of attention. Come over, hang out, bring your family, bring your children. We're seeing a lot of that. And so I think a lot of our architecture and what people are looking for in that market is reflecting that. What do you think, Robin?
Absolutely. I'm seeing a lot of builders doing 2 master bedrooms downstairs, and that is for the extended family to either live there or to visit.
How about you, Amy?
Oh, yes. A lot of generational families, yes. So...
And what's neat is on the generational side of things is we are starting to see families from multiple generations living in the house for longer periods of time. It used to be, for the longest time, it was you couldn't kick your kid out fast enough at 18, and now we're seeing children that are living with their parents way past that age.
Boomerang kids.
Boomerang.
They're coming back. You know, they went out there, they got the college degree, they have the college experience, can't find a job.
Right.
Well, they're not going to make them CEO. That's why they can't find a job. You know,
Right.
I'm looking for that president, that president, CEO, COO position, and therefore I can't find anything. So they do move back in while in the interim, and we're seeing then, of course, the elder parents, especially in my age group. You know, a lot of people who don't want to go to a facility, assisted living, things like that. But so they'll have an extra room, or they'll move into the house. They'll have a separate private area and things like that. And I think it works out fine for a lot of people.
Right. Is that why you keep asking me if I'm going to be setting up?
Well, I keep asking you about that house you have out in Katie's.
Yeah, exactly. I keep wondering. I was like, Rob's been asking me a lot more recently. So here you got a second bedroom downstairs.
Hey, I keep everything neat and clean. You won't even notice I'm there.
That is true. That is true. Absolutely. And so, but no,
You can have spaghetti for breakfast with him.
Yeah.
you like your spaghetti for breakfast.
I had spaghetti for breakfast one time, posted on Facebook. I got more comments on that than anything I said that might have been of some real interest.
Right.
Nobody really wants to talk about anything of real interest on Facebook.
No.
They want to talk about what you're eating, where you're going, what you're doing.
It's in the manual.
It's in the manual.
Yeah, you didn't read the Facebook manual on that?
No, I didn't. I didn't. Yeah, I was really surprised that the comment was basically said,
Step one.
The pleasures of being single.
Right.
Spaghetti for breakfast. And people-
Step 1, create Facebook accounts. Step 2, post your dinner.
yeah. Well, that would
Step
be,
3, wait for responses.
that would be Danny Frank if you're listening, Danny. Danny's probably posted more food than anyone I know.
Right.
He's from prosciutto to spaghetti to whatever he's having that night. It's every day. So now let's talk about Facebook and social media and real estate a little bit.
Robin, how do you use it? I mean, how do you see social media in your life? Obviously, one of the things that we are slowly doing is Applefying everybody, by the way. And you've got the Apple Watch. But how has social media impacted your business, and what are you continuing to do to grow and garner new business out of it?
Social media is huge. I think that everyone, especially realtors, need to be on social media, all avenues. And it really helps me keep in contact with present clients and also past clients. I give, as much value as I possibly can, keep people updated. Also, give my listings and things like that. But I think that it just helps, stay in contact with your clients.
I would agree. And Amy, how about you as far as social media? I mean, they get to see, that you like wine. And along with CJ over there, by the way. Because wine is a good way to break bread, right? I mean, it's a good way to get to know somebody.
Tends to make it
Especially in Cyprus. Yes.
Especially in Cyprus. So, I'm not going to say it's anything bad. But how has social media impacted your business over the years?
I need to get better at social media.
Okay.
She didn't want you to ask that question.
She's like, don't ask me that question because I need to get better at it. Okay, but let's let you know, though, if you want to have a good glass of wine, those two ladies are there for you.
Yes.
Well, one of the things that is happening, and I'll tell you this, is social media, and I tell everybody, as you were saying, Robin, it's important for you to be engaged in social media. There's a thing about being too overly engaged with it also could be a detriment to you. So I tell everybody there's that balance you have to end up seeking. Individuals want to know who you are and what you do. They don't want to know when you went to the restroom or everything that you ate that day either, right? So, right, or what was that? Ranting and raving. That is correct.
Yeah, well, I'm
so
sure.
you want to be very careful in regards to how you do it. But I'll tell you, I use social media to a point in which it's become a very effective tool for me personally in getting to meet individuals or getting to know other individuals and how they are.
Joe's
and
got a
what
show
they might
going on
like,
over here behind
etc.
us.
Exactly. He's got the Orsac show going in the corner right there. So, and you were saying you've got to be active, you got to be engaged with it. Obviously, you've got your Apple Watch on right there. Where do you see it going in the future, and how do you see it impacting your business going forward?
Go.
Definitely. I mean, I think that you have to continue with that. This is just a great medium to continue to keep in touch with everyone and give everyone, the information that they are looking for, hopefully. Also, you want to bring your personal life into it, too. You don't want to only be business. You want to make it a personal, too.
And that's something I've struggled with. I'm going to be honest with you. I've really, I for the longest time had mine more as a business page. Now, as my kids are getting older, I've always sheltered my kids from being on Facebook. I didn't want to have them really be seen or et cetera. And I've slowly...
Chrissy's over there agreeing with you.
Right, exactly. That's just me personally. But I've slowly, there's a funny picture, a funny moment, I'll slowly put something out there. And they have a great time when I know how many likes I get on it.
Yeah.
Daddy, did we get 100 likes? Did we get 150 likes? That's their goal for it. So it's sort of a mutual thing that I've been doing and trying to continue to grow that. But you're right. There's a good balance you have to do. And I think everyone's different.
You can put some restrictions on when you put the family up that only certain people can see it.
Right.
And do it that way because there are predators out there you got to be careful about.
Right.
Putting kids or saying that you're out of town.
Right.
Or things like that. People can find you.
Right. Now, Joe is out of town next week, though, right?
Right.
Okay, just wanted to verify that, yes.
And he lives at... But Chris, you're kind of within earshot here, so if you have a comment on that, I'd love to have it. But you teach a lot about social media and etiquette, don't you?
I gotta come grab your microphone here, Rob. Yes,
Oh,
I
she had to
do.
grab your microphone, Rob. What are the tips of the day? Grab the microphone.
You guys. Yeah, we do. We talk a lot about that. My background's in public relations, and I call it the new PR. And like what you said, Chris, is definitely it's you want to bring your business into it, but absolutely you want to bring a little bit of your personal life. I always say, what's your 3? So what's your overarching business message, and then what's your niche, and then share a little bit about you, because it's, guess what, social media. Right?
I treat Facebook just like you met me in an event. I'm going to talk a little bit about business. I'm going to talk a little about myself, and I'm talk a little bit about you. And so it's going to be an interaction like that, and that's how I treat social media. And I don't do a business page at all.
Right.
Because it's of course I have to mean two pages. Then I have to be organized, and
because then we'd have to remember to do it.
I have to remember to do it, and I'd have to have a time map. So, and I talked about this a lot. Is that if you're going to start doing things like blogs and business pages, if you don't keep up with it, it's going to look really bad out there, and the perception of people are going, oh, well, this blog was from 2005.
There's a there's a wonderful book called The Thank You Economy that's all about social media. But basically, the point of the book is that social media is a long play, not a short play, and that's where most businesses fail, is that they are short playing in sales mode. How can I get business now, which has nothing to do with social media. Social media is a long-term building a relationship and a rapport kind of a thing, and if you're not doing that, you're entirely approaching it the wrong way.
Yeah, and I had somebody who would send us friend requests, and I'd accept it because I had multiple mutual friends, and about 2 minutes later, I get this advertisement from them. They get unfriended immediately because that's not how I want to engage.
Yeah, it just exacerbates the problem.
You worked it in one more time.
We're down to the last speed minutes here.
We are down to the last speed minute. One of the things I've got, I always like to end the show with a quote, and today's no difference, by the way. Different, I guess. And this one, by the way, Christy, this one you're going to like because this has to do with time management. It says, arriving late is a way of saying that your own time was more valuable than the time of the person who was waiting for you. Thought that was pretty interesting. So,
what if that's true?
Yes, it is true though. By the way, so next time you're going to be late. There's good etiquette around it. There's a way to arrive late, but if you can avoid doing that, I thought that was a very good quote.
Of course, I made a great grand entrance today. That was kind of fun. I had this cheer squad when I walked in.
Technically though, you still arrived on time for the show.
Yes.
This has been a great show as always.
I was Kelso early.
Yeah, Kelso early. That is correct. So I want to thank everybody. Robin, CJ, Amy, Dave, your beautiful spouse, by the way, in the corner.
Great show.
Kobe, everybody, as always.
Don't forget Tim O'Neill.
That is correct. And Tim O'Neill, we are
And you've
out.
been listening to the Real Estate Rat Pack. The question is, who's Frank, who's Sammy, who's Dean, and who's the other guy?
Chris is Frank,
I'm
he's
Dean.
Dean, and I'm Sammy.
Yes, he's that right? Yeah.
So tune in to the really big show every Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on 100.7 The Word, KKHT.